There is a shortage of skilled tradespeople throughout the U.S. economy.
The number of unfilled jobs, according to the website Indeed, has gone from 11 million to 12 million unfilled jobs now, and that is just killing small businesses.
That jobs number was half what we had expected, and if we kept at that pace of about 210,000 per month, that means the U.S. wouldn't regain the jobs lost since the pandemic until 2025.
There's an incredible shortage of trained, qualified, and skilled service industry workers in the U.S., and that shortage is increasing. Over the past 50 years, the country's undergone a massive cultural and social change, including shifts in education levels. Millennials today are generally better educated, with approximately 40% holding a bachelor's degree or higher, compared with 29% of Generation X and 25% of baby boomers. As Gen Xers step into more senior positions that baby boomers have retired from, Millennials and Gen Z now make up the majority of the workforce. In addition to there being fewer people in the job labor market overall, today's candidates look to white-collar positions to utilize their degree, while the blue-collar job candidates, they just continue to shrink. This need is across the entire trade industry, from construction workers and plumbers to electricians, techs, and roofers. As of April 2022, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are 1,958,000 open jobs in the trade industry. This is 185,000 more than just 1 year ago, and they expect this deficit to continue each year. I'm here with Kevin Self and Mike Nichols, the founders of ACIS Innovative Solutions. ACIS is a proven world-class commercial mechanical services provider with 4 locations across Texas. So, Mike, how is this shortage in the industry overall affecting your company?
Oh, it affects us in many ways. Primarily, we can't satisfy the needs of our customers. Our customers in hospitals and manufacturing plants, office buildings, there's more work than we have the technician base to cover.
Didn't used to be that way, huh?
It's much worse than I've ever seen it. Technicians have always been sought after, and really good ones, but it's much different today than it ever has been.
Are you seeing other industries out there, whether it's in your supply chain or not, that are going through the same kind of challenge?
Yes, supply houses, we have to set on hold for a long time to get somebody to give us availability on parts.
So within your supply chain, the example being maybe what, a tech found a problem, needs to order a part. Yeah. They call
So he'll call the supply house, they'll put him on hold while they're waiting. They get tired of waiting and they get in the truck and drive and walk into the supply house while on hold and say, "Hi, I'm a guy on line 3. I need to find out if we've got this
About
part."
how long did you say that time is now?
Sometimes up to 2 hours.
2 hours on hold.
Yeah, and so that's really hurting all customers. It's not, it's not just ACIS customers. That's the industry.
Yeah, we're trying a lot of different things that we wouldn't have in the past. Looking at inventory, where we wouldn't have inventoried parts in the past. We're looking at trying to make better relationships with our vendors, where we have a single point of contact that can give us quicker information, and maybe even some live price books and availability that they update for us. It's not just the supply houses, but the supply chain in general, from whether it's workers at the dock unloading from ships to the truckers bringing, the goods to, all the different places that we need them, in the manufacturing world and raw goods. In all of those situations, they're hurting for people as well. And so that is causing a huge backlog and, just problems for, really critical environments that need their air conditioning, plumbing, electrical repaired, because we cannot get the parts and material to get them up and running.
We just sold a chiller job last month. What was the lead time on that? Like 40 weeks?
Yeah, it's getting to almost ridiculous, to a year on a custom piece of equipment. We're used to 16 weeks, 18 weeks was pretty normal. And I almost caution using the word normal anymore, because we don't know where that's what normal is. We don't know when it's going to normalize. Some other things that are happening in the market is the government's requiring higher efficiencies on units starting next month, and that's going to require manufacturers to do things differently, which is going to even slow down their process even more, which is going to prolong our supply chain.
Not only do you have to explain to your customer that we order the part, it's going to take a year or whatever the case may be, then it becomes what can I do to, well, in the meantime, we're solutions people. Until the part gets here, what we're going to do for you is this. Are you finding yourself doing more of those workarounds to accommodate the client? Because what do you tell them? Our people are, whether it be hot or our servers, that's a whole nother thing, data centers.
Fortunately, customers understand what's going on in the world because they're dealing with this in other areas too. Most of our customers, are responsible for more than just the mechanical systems in their building. It could be landscaping, it could be, roofing, it could be many other things. And what it all boils down to is people, right? There's just not enough people in so many, especially skilled trades. So they do understand to a certain point. When they do get frustrated when we've been promised a delivery date and that delivery date gets pushed, when we've planned and they've planned for a shutdown because we're going to change out their equipment, and then that's prolonged for a month or two, then there's a lot of frustration.
You're the first line bad guy in that scenario, and you have to explain, I feel you. We're frustrated too. We were promised this. Our suppliers put a delay in the system, and there's nothing we can do. It's just it's a helpless place to be.
Very, very.
Like that particular chiller job, almost $2 million. You got to go back and explain to them that they're spending that much money, and we're going to have to postpone you another month. And they've been band-aiding this equipment along for a year because we couldn't get the equipment in time. So it just
a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
So the magic wand, if there were one, is it people? If we just had more, not for you. If you guys had more skilled workers, that would help for sure. But there also needs to be an increase in workers and those other verticals that are kind of affecting your business.
Yeah, so we're a very diversified company. So we have departments that are service oriented in the HVAC and plumbing side. And then we also have more of a project construction side. That project side where we're replacing large pieces of equipment is affected much more than, the service guys that need parts. The parts are delayed more than normal, but they're still available in a reasonable amount of time. So what we're really, the people issue that we have is really hurting us on the service side. And that service side is the critical part where that's when, people are down, their facilities are down, their hospitals are down, their blood banks are down. Those are the things that we need people to be able to manage that and take care of all these people all across Texas.
So speaking of people, these are blue collar jobs. Can you really make a good living as a blue collar worker?
Absolutely. These guys are coming out of school making between $45,000 and $50,000 a year without any overtime. Within a few years, I'd say 5 years, they could be making $100,000, and that's without very much debt.
Knowing that you can make a good living is good. What do you see other companies doing to attract these young people that are needed right now?
We look at our competitors for sure, but we've always been one to really focus on ourselves and make sure that we're providing the best possible place for someone to work. And we know based on averages of what other companies like us, what they pay, what their benefits are. So we're doing a lot of things, 4 weeks vacation after 60 days of employment, which is pretty unheard of.
That's a new thing that you just put in place.
Yes.
That didn't used to be that way, and you reacted to it based on we need to retain our people.
And the thing that we are really trying to make new candidates understand or technicians from another company is we provide a career path. We provide training that can get you into any part of the business that you want to get to.
Is that unique?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think the diversification that we have with the type of customers we have and equipment we work on and all the different trades that we have under the ACIS umbrella gives, a potential ACIS employee so many different options to go into, whether it's, do you want to be specialize in something within the air conditioning field? Do you want to go into a sales position? Do you want to go into, more of a project management role?
Within the HVAC industry, in the commercial side, there's probably a dozen to 15 different routes you can go, from rooftops to air-cooled or water-cooled, chillers, centrifugals, pumps, boilers, vane axial fans, balance, vibration.
It feels good to provide that type of career opportunity for people, and we're doing things like this so we can let others know what these industries, what these trades offer. There's so much more than what you might know, because we haven't done a good job of promoting it, of telling people how great and satisfying this career can be.
You were mentioning the 4-week vacation, new policy. Tell me kind of maybe what it was like before and why you chose to do that, and what has been the response?
Yeah, before it was 2 weeks vacation after a year. So you'd have to wait a year to get any, PTO. So now, after 60 days, which is when all of our benefits kick in, you get 4 weeks of vacation. And we also are really flexible about how you use that vacation. So if you want to roll a week, and if you want to sell a week, and, we really want to make sure that, your family, you get to make sure you have time with your family, you get to take summer vacations, you get, if you're not happy and healthy in your whole life, then you can't, be the best you can be at ACIS. And so we're looking to have people that, are making this a career where they're going to stay hopefully for the rest of their career, and we can help them be happy, healthy, excited every day to come to work, and really, be proud of what they do.
If someone had no training and came to your door, called you guys up, and didn't have any training at all, how would you handle that?
Well, I think that it goes back to what Kevin's done with his involvement with younger kids and high schools. We may not have a place for you right then, but we will counsel you on what you can do to get to a place where we can bring you in. If you've got a mechanical aptitude, you might be a candidate for our internship, where we pay for a big portion of your school and go to a trade school and learn and come back. So, we're not going to say no to anybody from having a conversation. And I know Kevin will talk to anyone and, give them guidance and help them, if this is the career that you want and you don't have quite the skill set yet, well, let's talk about what we can do to help you get there.
One of the true success stories was an auto mechanic that got into the HVAC. He picked it up very quickly because of his mechanical abilities. He was already able to read schematics, so he was just learning the refrigeration circuit. And he was moved up the ladder very quickly.
If you're in a job that you don't like, if you're in a job that is really not going anywhere and you don't feel appreciated and you can't do anything to change it, so the harder you work, you're kind of still stuck, this is really a career and a trade. These trades are perfect for you, because you will be you'll be sought after. Your self-confidence will grow every day. It can be overwhelming at first because there's a lot to it. It's very technical, mechanical. You have to be able to talk to people, explain situations. But as a man myself, it's given me so much confidence through the years as I've learned more and know more and realized that, I've learned something that no one can take away from me.
We're licensed. Both of us are licensed contractors in the state. No one can take that away from us. You get your driver's license. If you mess up enough, you can get those taken away, right? But my dad was a barber growing up all my life, and he was very prideful. He had a trade. No one could take that away from him. And if something happened that we done something stupid and we lost our contractor's license, we could still do air conditioning. And so I'm very proud of that. And I know Mike is too.
I would have a hard time because it's been a while, but I could probably still go out and, do what I learned, 35 years ago.
You probably couldn't go up on the roof.
No.
And
No, I would want to work, in a controlled environment where it's air conditioning.
Yeah.
But when you have that confidence that you've learned something that no one can take away from you and that is so needed, then that you have a different view on your life and the world.
Tell me kind of about the training program. I know that they would go through a program if they're interested. It's in Oklahoma?
there's actually two.
Okay.
There's one here local, Collin College has a great facility, and they offer an associate's degree as well. And then there's the option to go to OSU IT in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. It's a 2-year degree as well.
So I understand that you've been reliant and partners with these colleges, but you had an idea you shared with me, like, why don't we start our own university? Tell me more about kind of that idea and where you see it going in the next couple of years.
Yeah, we have some big plans there. I'm really excited to be able to take someone with zero experience but has a mechanical aptitude and really wants to get into the trades and be able to accelerate their learning a little faster than they could if they were, in the other programs. Part of that is due to we can put them in the field half a day and in the classroom half a day.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, so they start learning, at a really fast pace. And then we also want to have an ability to bring in other, our current employees and train them up to the next level. Our plans are to have ACIS University, and we know that ultimately we've got to solve this labor shortage problem ourselves, and we feel like that's how it's going to happen.
Unless you can admit that we've got to evolve, there's going to be new blood, new mentalities, new perspectives, new generations that are going to come in. If we don't understand how to get the most out of them or create a path for them in today's world, then we might as well just hang it up. And you guys have done a great job of doing that. If somebody were interested and if they saw this video or they came across your site and they wanted to start a career with you guys, what should they do?
Go to acisinc.com/careers, and we will, you can put in your information there, you can upload a resume, and we'll definitely contact you.
Thanks for your time. Thanks, guys, for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.